Welcome to the Community Foundation's 2020 Fall Celebration of Philanthropy. It's one of our most favorite nights of the year. We get the opportunity to gather all of our friends, lots of our friends, 750 of our friends or more in one place to share food and drink and relationships and camaraderie and friendship. But it's also an opportunity for us to share the impact that we all have through our generosity, through nonprofits on our community. And we are really sad to not be together in person tonight, especially because of the venue. Last year's venue, which we had again this year, here at Emmy Yacht Boat Shed. They even made it bigger. You may have noticed it's a third bigger than it was last year in preparation for the foundation's big event. And here we are, we have to gather behind screens. It's just not the way we want to do things. But while we had to cancel the event, there were certain pieces that we were unwilling to let go. Yes, the food and drinks were fun. We can do that again sometime, and the decorations are always great. But the impact, this was not the year to skip the impact story. For those of you that have been to this event before, you know that we spend time talking about the impact that we have made through our generosity, that the Community Foundation has made through the Community's Endowment. And for 4 or 5 years now, we've talked about the Today, Tomorrow, Forever campaign. Many of you contributed to it. And one of the things we told you was the idea of having a permanent Community's Endowment is so that we have resources available to respond to whatever unknown need or opportunity presents itself in the future. And let me tell you, I promise I did not know COVID-19 was coming. But it's here, and the Community Foundation was able to step up and respond through your gifts, through the Community's Endowment, through nonprofits, to improve the lives of many. And we just couldn't skip that this year. So we were grateful that our key partner, Warner Norcross and Judd, was willing to sponsor again. Even without a room full of people, they were willing to sponsor our impact video so that you all could hear the stories and feel the impact that you've made. Yes, it's a different kind of celebration tonight, but it's still a moment where our community needs to pause, reflect, think about the difference that we can make when we all channel our inner generosity and support our neighbors. So now, here's your chance to hear the stories that you've made possible.
Hello, I'm Jennifer Remendino of Warner Norcross and Judd. Warner has been a proud partner of the Community Foundation for many years, trusting them to meet our clients' charitable needs and make positive, lasting change in our community. This year, as unprecedented and unexpected needs converged at once, it illuminated the necessity for a flexible endowment to support our community in times of need. Today, we happily support the release of this video that shares the power of our community's endowment.
What would happen without the endowment funds? You know, honestly, that's scary to think about. You know, we see families coming in our door all the time, and through this pandemic. I mean, our calls increased 400% of people that were scared. Scared about how they were going to tell their kids that they weren't going to have a bedroom anymore.
What this pandemic has created for so many of us is the feeling of the loss of power and the loss of control. When an abuser experiences a loss of power and control, violent behavior almost always escalates.
In those early weeks, we were incredibly anxious about whether we'd be able to sustain these new levels of spending as we serve so many new neighbors.
When COVID-19 happened, we went back to our homes and we were working off-site. But then with George Floyd's death, the community needed to heal.
For the last 50 years, Community Action House has offered support to our neighbors in their time of need. We've done that in a variety of ways, from food access to resource navigation and counsel.
Our mission is to end homelessness and poverty.
What I tell people that LIDA does is we build bridges between peoples.
We provide everything from emergency shelter, crisis response around the clock, to ongoing therapy and supportive services for both adult survivors and children exposed to violence in the home.
The eviction diversion program for our community is fundamental. It's critical to making sure hundreds don't fall into homelessness.
A statement wasn't going to do it. LIDA, we had to do something that really made an impact and really helped the community think about what they could do in order to deal with this.
There are times all along the way where we started to worry about the future. And the Community Foundation and the Endowment having our back help us to focus all of our energy on the immediate need.
It was amazing how quickly the foundation moved in order to focus in on not just the basic needs, which were really, really evident and really needed during the pandemic, but all of a sudden being able to pivot quickly and focus in on, oh my gosh, there's this racial injustice issue that everyone is trying to grapple with.
The need for us to take a risk and expand services to in some cases, literally keep people alive throughout this pandemic was absolutely necessary. We were able to make decisions and set up alternative options for families literally within a week.
With the foundation being able to reach out to Lita and say, what are you able to do if you can dream and think about how you can extend your reach and the message, gave me a chance to focus on what needed to be done rather than how we were going to pay for it.
When I received the email on March 13th about the immediate 5K support to the work, I mean, first of all, I was just astonished. Early on in the process, Mike Goorhouse from the Community Foundation said, we're entering into trust time. We've known you for years. We trust the work you do, the results you get, and how you use the support we give you. You've got our trust. Now go.
Without the funding through the Community Foundation and the community's endowment, our ability to act swiftly and provide those services in a timely fashion would not have been possible.
One of the programs we were able to offer, thanks to the Community Foundation, was a direct cash transfer program, where a lot of families received $500 each if they met certain criteria about losing work due to COVID. It meant that cash was in the hands of families who were in a really desperate situation. It meant the world to those families, showing that we and the Community Foundation and all those who support it were in their corner.
The support that the Community Foundation of Holland Zeeland provided, in a word, was critical.
Nonprofits will be celebrated for a long time publicly for the work that's been done over the last 4 months and the work going forward. That's great. Nonprofits wouldn't be able to do it without the Community Foundation's quick action and trust-built action. The Community Foundation wouldn't have been able to do that without years of trusted relationships with donors that filled the endowment for just a time as this.
Wow. It is extraordinary to reflect on the year that we are in. I want to say thank you to all of our nonprofit partners in the community that are working exceptionally hard right now to meet the increased needs. And I want to say a special thanks to the 4 nonprofits that shared the impact of the community's endowment and how it's helping them do their work right now. And I want to say thank you to all of our donors who for over 75 years have been contributing to the community's endowment for moments just like this. For all of those individuals, families, and companies that are no longer with us, but trusted the Community Foundation to respond when they couldn't be here, who trusted that their gift would always be relevant. We are grateful for your support. And we are grateful for a community that even when we can't gather together in person, we are united to help our neighbors in a time of need. We will be back here next year. Save the date for Thursday, September 16. We will be back at Emmy Yachts and we will celebrate philanthropy in this community. For this year, we ask that you share this video. We thank you in advance for helping us spread the word of the impact of the community. And we thank you, every one of you who made a gift to make it possible for us to help our neighbors during this difficult time.